Hello everyone, myself Joel C. James, a 4th year electrical and electronics engineering student from NIT Calicut, will be giving you a wonderful introduction to the C++ programming course. I am more than 5 years experienced with C++ language and have helped many students to understand this beautiful language. So we will be starting with the need for C++ program. We will further discuss a Hello World program code and I will be giving the detailed explanation of the code. So let's get started. Firstly, let's understand the need for a C++ program. So let's think, how can we communicate with a computer? Computers can understand only zeros and ones. This represents low, 0 represents low and 1 represents high. And this could be achieved by giving a low voltage or a high voltage in the electronic circuit inside the computer. This 0 can be also referred to as a false value and 1 can be referred to as true. So taking this into consideration, we have to think, how can we communicate with a computer and achieve our required task. So for this we require a C++ program or any programming languages which uses similar language syntax as we use in our day-to-day life, using the English alphabets, numbers and other special symbols like curly braces, parentheses, etc. So using these characters we write a C++ program which on compilation gives a sequence of zeros, ones, etc. This could be this is the equivalent representation of the program we wrote. It is compiled, like if we write a C++ program, we need to use a C++ compiler to compile the program so that we get an executable code. This can be termed as executable code. And further on we will be having a run option in our text editor or a build option according to the text editor you use, and this code is run in order to achieve the required task. Okay, so let's take a quick look to this program which is used to print Hello World in the output screen. So let's start from the top. Hash include iostream.h. This hash refers to a preprocessor directive, which means that this particular line is a program to include the iostream file. Iostream is a file which contains many library functions which are used for doing input and output operations in the program. Talking about input and output operations in a program, it refers that, like taking in a data. For example, in this program we are not taking any data from the user, but there are programs in which we take data from the user, suppose a number. So it is an input operation, and similarly the result of the program, here we are printing hello world. So it is an output operation, and cout is the function from the iostream library which is used to perform the particular output operation. So it is very much important to include this iostream library in all of our programs, because otherwise we cannot do any of these input output operations which are predefined functions from the file iostream. Also, we need to write this piece of code that is using namespace std. It implies that we are using this particular namespace called std in our program, because input output operations like cout and all comes under std namespace. So if we are to skip this line of code, then we have to explicitly type here std : cout, which is like bit difficult in bigger programs, so we using namespace std. Actually it is the best practice to go like this, std cout, but for simplicity we write here itself using namespace std, so we can just avoid this std colon colon. Also one more thing, like anything that comes after double backslashes, it is considered as a comment. It is a line comment, so whatever comes after this in this particular line will be treated as a comment. A comment is just a thing that the compiler will skip while compilation and running. It won't be treated as it is in the program. It is just a comment. It won't take part in the program, so we need not worry about it. Comments are actually used in bigger programs so that someone who reads the big programs can easily understand what is happening throughout the program. As I have explained some major things as comments like this, we can also type block comments using \* it is used to start and a */ to end. So anything we type here will be treated as comment. This is multi-line comment. We can type multiple lines as comment like this. But if we use /, only the line or the things that comes after the \/ in that line will be treated as comment. If we go to the next line, you see the color change. It is not a comment. It will be considered as a program. So that's about comments. So after using namespace std, the program control comes to int main. Int main is the most important function of any C++ program, as like after these hash include is a preprocessor directive, so it is having the first priority, and all these statements, there will be multiple functions in bigger C++ programs. So among these functions, main function will be executed first, even if those functions are written here like int sum. This is how we type a function. Even if sum is above the main function, it won't get executed first. It needs to be called from either main function or any other functions. Firstly, main function get executed. So execution of a function is like from top to bottom. That is from here, it comes down, it goes, and like that. So firstly, the program encounters cout hello world. As I mentioned before, cout is an IOStream library function which is used to output something in the output screen. So here, anything between these double quotes will be printed as such in the output screen with no change. So here hello world will get printed. Let's run this code. In order to run the code, we can either go to file and find the run. Actually, there is a shortcut key in Sublime Text which is Ctrl+B, which will run the code. So hello world gets printed. Actually, the program control goes after the hello world, and then here it is return 0. Return 0 means this main function returns a value 0. Why we are giving here 0 is because this integer data type, as I mentioned before, is the return data type of the function. The function syntax means how something should be written in a program. Function syntax is data type, function name, then opening and closing curly braces. Okay, this is the function syntax. So we can give any data type for any functions. For main function, we usually give int data type, and return 0 should be given, so it marks the exit or end of main function. We can also give data type void. Void is a data type. It means we need not return anything, so there won't be a return statement. So these kind of functions exit when the statements, like here there will be some statements, all these statements get executed, and when it reaches the closing curly braces, this function is over. About syntaxes and all we will be learning later on. I just mentioned to understand why we are giving return 0 in this code. So that's about this video. Thank you.